All right. Justin Timberlake got arrested in New York. He's got a mugshot. Apparently he was a fucking menace. And we're here for it. We are here for the downfall of Justin Timberlake. Truly, truly, when I see Justin Timberlake in the news for something like he's getting arrested, I go, you know what? I bleed the blue. I'm Blue Lives Matter now. Arrest his ass.
We're continuing to follow breaking news out of New York, where Justin Timberlake is expected to be arraigned today. He was arrested earlier this morning in Sag Harbor. Now, police say that the pop star is accused of driving while intoxicated. The circumstances surrounding the arrest were not immediately released, and there has been no comment from his representatives.
I will say, I do love that the internet now comes together to cheer when things like this happen. Like, the internet seems to collectively hate Justin Timberlake for many reasons, of which I have covered at length on this stream. But it just kind of feels rare that there's a celebrity who has not actually been canceled, who the internet still is like, no, fuck this person. Fuck them for life. They have been a piece of shit for years. So pass the popcorn.
I want to bring in attorney Chris Melcher. He is a celebrity divorce attorney who represented Kanye West with his split with Kim Kardashian, but you've also done some other work outside of divorce work with celebrities. Chris, so we're still waiting to learn some details surrounding Justin Timberlake's DWI arrest. But
wait, what was the Pooh Crave tweet?
How serious could these potential charges be? I was kind of quickly looking at the rules of the laws in New York, and it looks like, you know, there's a kind of a range of possibility of losing his license.
This guy looks like he's famous for celebrity divorce,
maybe,
for being a celebrity divorce
fines,
lawyer.
But jail time's on the table too.
Well, Anne-Marie, sure, this is a very serious offense, obviously, if he committed it, because he's putting himself and everyone else in danger if he was driving while he was impaired. Now, under New York, they have a lower limit for blood alcohol content. A lot of states, it's 0.08.
Let me pull up the Pooh Crave tweet. Pooh Crave has almost gotten me before. Justin Timberlake allegedly had traces of Molly, poppers, Truvada, and Coke in his bloodstream following his DWI arrest in New York. And so many people were like, poppers? Happy Pride. I did see this, and then I checked who posted this, because Pooh Crave has gotten me before. This also just feels very believable. The one thing that I did read was that apparently Justin Timberlake was going around just taking people's drinks. Like, he was so fucked up and was going around to random people and just taking their drinks and drinking them.
Which may be, 2-3 drinks.
That got Mike in the morning.
In New York, you could be charged for...
That's because Mike is old, okay? Didn't get me. Can't catch me.
As low as 0.05. Utah has a similar very low limit. So we don't have the toxicological reports back yet to see if it was drugs and alcohol or combination of those, what the limit was. But it could be, on the very lower end. Maybe it was 2 drinks that he had. We're just not sure yet.
So keeping in mind that we don't know the circumstances of this particular case, what kind of additional factors would be considered in the sentencing phase of a DWI case? That would be the difference between, for example, probational counseling versus something worse.
Well, Vlad, a lot of times in a first-time DUI, there's not going to be any additional jail time. And why I say additional is that these folks are always taken into custody to be booked and processed and tested, and that counts as a day or 2 in jail. So he's already, in effect, served some time because of his custodial arrest.
So they have surveillance video showing him on a deserted street in the early hours of Tuesday, June 18th. And according to the arrest report, he was stopped after police officers saw his BMW drive through a stop sign and failed to keep on the right side of the roadway. The officer said the entertainer's eyes were bloodshot and glassy. A strong odor of an alcoholic beverage was emanating from his breath. He was unable to divide attention. He had slowed speech. He was unsteady of foot, and he performed poorly on all standardized field sobriety tests. He tried to claim he had one martini. Oh, that Weasley little liar. He said he had one martini and followed his friends home.
Now, if it's a first time for him and we have no indication that he's ever had any similar problems like this, then it would probably just be probation, a suspension of his license, maybe some drug and alcohol counseling, and some fines. We also heard from the reporting that he had ran a stop sign during the incident, but we didn't hear anything about any accidents or any other aggravating circumstances. So most likely, if he did commit this offense and if he was convicted, it would be a lesson hard learned, but I don't anticipate that he would go into custody again on it.
We keep saying DWI, which is what the charge is, but I know in some areas it's DUI, some areas have both. Can you just
let me just pull this up. Just want to show you guys. Just want to show you guys this. This is from back in 2007. This is Justin Timberlake talking to Britney Spears.
Stop drinking. You know who you are. I'm speaking to you. Stop drinking, you're gonna get sloppy. OK is gonna say something bad about you. Stop drinking. You know who you are. I'm speaking to you.
Well, maybe you're speaking to your future self, Justin. Mayhaps. Man, I truly am here for the continued downfall of Justin Timberlake after everything that piece of shit has done. For what it did to like every female artist he came into contact with. Yes. That is why you have so many different camps of people who hate Justin Timberlake. You've got like Janet Jackson fans. You've got Britney Spears fans. It turns out too that when he kissed Jessica Simpson, he was 12 years old. He kissed her. It was because of a bet that he had made with Ryan Gosling. Like, this kid's always been a fucker. Women have always been like a way for him to elevate his status, to be like the cool guy in Hollywood. Britney's fans sending her song Criminal up the charts. Yep. Him, Jessica Biel fans. Remember when Justin Timberlake was photographed holding hands with that mysterious woman? Yeah, we'll pull up the statement with the line about the tour.
Just kind of give us, what's the difference between a DUI and a DWI?
Ms., thank you for the 22 months.
Sure, Anne-Marie. We're talking about these different terminology here. So we're looking at levels of impairment, and each state has a different test, whether it's drugs or alcohol. And sometimes that's toxicological reports where they're actually drawing blood and testing it, or doing a breath test, and they're saying, hey, if your blood alcohol content has a certain amount, a level, then you are guilty. So they may have gone under that. Other states can look at, these field sobriety tests, and from an officer examining somebody's level of impairment based on whether they can do these, kind of roadside agility tests. So most of the prosecutions, though, are done based on scientific results rather than attempting for an officer to say the impairment based on somebody's ability.
I just hate him because he represents pop music. Not according to everyone. Troll star Justin Timberlake has been arrested for driving under the influence in NYC. This has to be intentionally trolling. No pun intended. To refer to Justin Timberlake as troll star, it's so funny. This is comedy.
To stand on the side of a roadway.
And we know part of the arraignment process will include him entering a plea. If you were advising Timberlake as a client, would you advise any public statements at this stage of the investigation?
Well, if I was advising him, I would suggest that he get ahead of this very quickly. This is obviously a serious offense. We all know people who have lost their lives to DUI-related accidents. So, with a non-celeb, we might say, hey, go get the police report, see if we could fight this. With a celeb, really, he's got to get ahead of it. So my advice would be to take responsibility if he did it, don't fight it, and learn from it, and try to turn this into a message so people can see. It only takes a couple drinks to be impaired.
We keep asking each other, why is Justin Timberlake driving? I was thinking if I had all that money, I would not. That's one of the perks is that you don't.
Because it's not about money. It's not about being able to afford having, having a helicopter drop you off. It's about Justin Timberlake being as famous and wealthy and having all the resources he has and having lived this life for so long, not ever thinking about repercussions. Justin Timberlake is someone who never, ever thinks about the law, who never thinks about personal responsibility. Of course not. Of course not. He's going to do whatever he wants to do without a thought to, yo, I could get in trouble for this.
You don't have to drive unless you want to, I suppose.
Yeah, consequences are for other people.
Just take an Uber.
Well, Emery, that's a great question. It's confounding. And really what happens is if truly he was impaired, then his...
It'll be like, well, why did that rich guy sexually harass... why did Harvey Weinstein sexually harass, these journalists and assistants? Harvey could have had any woman that he wanted because he was Harvey Weinstein. It's like, oh, because it was about power. That's what it was about. It was about Harvey Weinstein going, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Judgment was wrong. It was off that day or night. So this is what fools people is because, they're under the influence or impaired and they just don't think straight. They obviously could have got a ride share, could have got a friend or security, somebody to pick them up. But this is what fools people into getting behind the wheel.
All right, Chris Melcher, thank you so much for your analysis.
Okay, let's look at his mugshot.
Pop superstar Justin Timberlake, who, while in the midst of a lengthy U.S. tour, was arrested for driving while intoxicated in the Hamptons. This newly released mugshot of the pop superstar shows him after
he looks like a youth pastor who has been found to have been diddling either little girls or little boys or both.
He was pulled over by Sag Harbor police Monday night. Authorities say that he drove through a stop sign and swerved into a lane of oncoming traffic. He was placed under arrest, held overnight. DailyMail.com posting this photograph of Timberlake in handcuffs. He's arriving at court this morning in that picture. He was arraigned and then released. ABC News senior investigator.
Yeah. Just one martini. Only one. Only one.
Morning in that picture. He was arraigned and then released. ABC News senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky has the details.
Kana, Justin Timberlake was pulled over in Sag Harbor a little after midnight after police said his BMW 2025 model year blew through a stop sign and swerved into an oncoming lane of traffic. Police said once they pulled Timberlake over, they noticed he was unsteady on his feet, smelled alcohol on his breath. He didn't do well on field sobriety tests. He
I'm bringing
DWIs
to take
back. A breathalyzer
yep.
test, and he was eventually booked on misdemeanor DWI charges. Timberlake was held overnight and appeared briefly in court before a village judge who ordered him released on his own recognizance. He was spotted by photographers leaving village court, and then he is due to appear before the same judge virtually back on July 26th. Then the case will somehow be resolved, we expect, by then. He made no statements, neither did his attorney, Ed Burke, and no additional comment from the police. Kana?
All right. What is the difference between DWI and DUI? DWI is driving while intoxicated, and it only refers to intoxication via alcohol. DUI is driving under the influence, and can refer to drugs or alcohol or both being in an individual system. So a DWI is more severe, I believe. Mugshot? Mug. DUI is below legal limit. DWI is over legal limit. Let me look up and see a couple other facts on this. Let's see. Okay. DUI. First of, wait a sec. Wait, is that right? No, DUI is, which one is worse to be? Apparently in California, DUI is used and means the same thing as DWI. So I think it depends also on the state. Like in Texas, DWI is a more serious Class B misdemeanor charge. DUI charges only apply to minors, defined as those under legal drinking age of 21. It's one of those things that vary by jurisdiction. Some places there's synonyms and others there are distinctions like the one you mentioned. Yeah. He got pulled over in New York, correct? Is that where he was, or did I just make that up? They've only said it like 3 times in the news reports that we've seen. Yeah, he was in the Hamptons. Yeah, so New York, DWI. Yeah, so the DWI is worse in New York, I believe. Okay, let's look at this statement. I don't even know. I didn't know how to verify this. Oh, well, it's coming from page 6. So, whatever. I don't really care. This is not one of those things that I need to find extra verification on before I share it. It's just fucking funny. So, according to page 6, when Justin Timberlake was pulled over, the cop who pulled him over was so young that he didn't even know who the 10-time Grammy winner was. He didn't recognize him or his name, one insider says, which I find hilarious. A second source adds, Justin said under his breath, "This is going to ruin the tour." The cop replied, "What tour?" Justin said, "The world tour." Like I said, I don't know if that's actually true, but I'm choosing to believe that it is. And let's not forget what world tour, okay? Trolls World Tour. Just kidding. He's on tour for whatever his last album was called. This is going to ruin the tour. Love that Justin's mind is not like, oh shit, I could have killed somebody or could have killed myself. Just, this is going to ruin the world tour. Whenever you refer to Justin Timberlake from now on, you must refer to him as troll star Justin Timberlake. Look at this brutal way that the New York Times wrote about him. Justin Timberlake is charged with drunken driving in Sag Harbor. Police in the Hamptons community gave few details about the arrest of the singer, who was once among the most prominent stars in American popular music. The singer and actor Justin Timberlake was arrested in Sag Harbor, New York for charges relating to driving while intoxicated. Mr. Timberlake was expected to be arraigned on Tuesday morning. Officials declined to provide further details about the arrest, why Mr. Timberlake was stopped, or what kind of car he was driving, which we don't know. Mr. Timberlake was once among the most prominent male stars in American music, but his most recent solo album, Everything I Thought It Was met with criticism and weaker than usual sales when it was released in March, becoming his first solo release to miss #1 since Justified in 2002. Oh my God. That's the tour he's going on for his recent album, Everything I Thought It Was. The shade, not once, but twice here. Wanting to make sure, this New York Times author wanted to make sure that you knew that Justin Timberlake is no longer the star that he was. Just so you don't forget. It does piss me off, though, how easily celebrities get off when they are driving under the influence. These fucking assholes, man. They truly don't give a shit. Must be why he was drinking. Yes. He was like, damn, I'm really not the American male pop star that I used to be. Yeah, I saw a lot of tweets about how maybe Justin Timberlake needs to be in a conservatorship. Oh, how the turntables. Sir, I'm going to need you to step out of the vehicle and walk in a straight line. Dude looks like a model for Kohl's. Ugh. This is gonna mess up the tour. Man, I'm here for his downfall. I'm here for Scooter Braun's downfall, seeing that Scooter Braun has now retired.